chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
Let's own it. Let's own it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know.
Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
He's number one right now. Number one. This is his generation. This is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Floyd Mayweather was left absolutely speechless during a recent gym visit, witnessing Gervonta "Tank" Davis's shocking physical transformation ahead of the Jake Paul fight. Insiders say Mayweather watched in stunned silence as Davis showcased blistering hand speed, freakish power, and a completely reshaped physique, bulkier, yet faster. "I've never seen Tank like this," Mayweather whispered to a trainer. "He looks like a middleweight but moves like a featherweight." Davis's new regimen includes Olympic-level strength conditioning and vicious body shot drills specifically designed to break Paul's notorious gas tank. "Jake has no idea what's coming," a source close to Davis revealed. "This isn't the same fighter from a year ago. He's evolved into a complete killer." The boxing world is now on high alert. Tank isn't just preparing to win, he's preparing to end a career.
Everything is going great. I feel good. Working hard each and every day. And I can't wait for 2026.
Leaked footage of Mike Tyson training with Gervonta "Tank" Davis has left the boxing world in absolute shock. In the viral clip, Tyson, still possessing ferocious power, is seen teaching Davis his signature peekaboo defense and brutal body ripping hooks. "Don't just hurt him, break his spirit." Tyson growls as Davis unleashes combinations on the heavy bag. The session reaches a chilling climax when Tyson demonstrates how to close distance and land fight-ending uppercuts, the same punches that terrorized the heavyweight division. Davis, drenched in sweat, nods intently, absorbing every detail. "Jake thinks this is a game," Davis says, staring coldly into the camera. "Mike's showing me how to turn it into a nightmare."
He doesn't need it anymore.
With his accomplishments, the only man to ever do 3 weight divisions, undisputed. Is he now a part of the greatest of all time conversation? Not of this era, but of all time.
Definitely is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. There's still greats out there. There's still, his era or last era, with the Mayweathers, with the Pacquiaos. I think he's, already accomplished more than Pacquiao was 8 division, so we could argue there because Pacquiao was, 8 division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5 division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more.
After months of speculation, Floyd Mayweather has finally spoken about his long-awaited return to the ring, and the boxing world is buzzing. The undefeated legend confirmed that he's preparing for 2 major fights, one of which will take place this year. His first step back will be an exhibition match against Mike Tyson, an event already being hyped as one of the most surreal and star-powered showdowns in boxing history. But it was Floyd's next revelation that truly sent shockwaves across the sport. He confirmed that his team is in active negotiations for a real, professional comeback fight in 2026, and the opponent being discussed is none other than Terence "Bud" Crawford. Floyd emphasized that the talks are serious, the paperwork is in motion, and that he's training with the same intensity that defined his peak years. "We're working hard," Floyd said. "This isn't about the money, it's about legacy." His statement reignited debates worldwide about whether a 49-year-old Mayweather could still outthink and outclass the new king of boxing's pound-for-pound list.
Probably still pick Mayweather, both in the prime. I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
With all that said, what can you ultimately say about what occurred and what we saw Saturday night?
It was a great event, great turnout, 70,000 plus people. Gate was fucking insane from what I understand. Fucking that's good for boxing, man. Good for boxing, good for all the younger fighters. All these new things going on. I think it's gonna be a positive thing for all the younger fighters.
Whenever fans discuss fantasy matchups, dream fights that transcend eras, one name always dominates the conversation: Floyd Mayweather. Even years into retirement, his presence looms large over the sport. No matter who the current champion is, the question always resurfaces: could they have beaten Floyd in his prime? Renowned trainer Robert Garcia recently joined the debate, offering a realistic take on what a Mayweather vs. Crawford clash might look like. Garcia acknowledged Floyd's unmatched legacy, his flawless record, and his status as the greatest defensive fighter of all time. But he also pointed out one missing piece in Floyd's resume, something Crawford and Manny Pacquiao both achieved: undisputed status. Garcia explained that while Floyd mastered the art of domination, he never unified every major title in a single division. Even so, Garcia admitted his admiration for Mayweather's ring IQ was so deep that if the two ever faced off, he would still lean toward picking Floyd to win. Crawford is special, Garcia said, but Floyd's precision, timing, and control of distance, nobody has ever solved that puzzle.
I'm sorry. He's a genius. He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom, but sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s, and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking, I watch the whole fucking episodes, and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument, oh, you should have fought that person then, and I get it. I get it, all right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm gonna work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm gonna work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fight, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right? In terms of the fights that brought all the eyeballs onto him, Oscar De La Hoya fight, you know what I mean? That Pretty Boy Floyd was like, Diego Corrales is probably the best performance really from Pretty Boy Floyd, right? Corrales, I think, was unbeaten at the time, and look what he did to him. But Money Floyd brought the eyeballs on. That's when he started being controversial. Genius outside the ring in terms of marketing, genius inside the ring in terms of defensively, offensively as well. People don't give him as much credit offensively.
Garcia expanded on the conversation by underlining what makes Terence Crawford's accomplishments historically unique. Crawford didn't just move through divisions, he conquered them. He became the first male boxer in the four-belt era to unify all titles at 140 pounds, and later dominated the welterweight division as well. Garcia noted that this feat alone places Crawford in elite company, right alongside legends like Pacquiao. Still, he emphasized that while Floyd never became undisputed, his career was built differently. He didn't just beat champions, he embarrassed them. His resume is a timeline of generational greats who could never find a way around his defense. It's not that Floyd couldn't become undisputed, Garcia explained. He just never needed to prove it that way. To Garcia, Mayweather's defensive genius and adaptability in the ring make him a nightmare even for someone as complete as Crawford. You can't hit what you can't see, he said. And Floyd? You couldn't hit him clean, not even once.
Right now. Number one, this is his generation, this is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Just seen in the press conference, Canelo said that Crawford's better than Mayweather. What do you think?
He's not lying. He fought him. He should know. How can somebody tell somebody that fought both of these guys, that he know? Yeah. If anybody would know, Canelo would know.
What do you think's next for both?
I don't know.
Too early? You like to see a rematch?
Not a rematch. Rematches always sound good. But in a rematch, it'd be the same thing.
Yeah. Cool.
Matter of fact, in a rematch, I'm predicting stoppage earlier.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah, I think so.
Boxing historian Andy Dolau offered a poetic reflection on Floyd's career, arguing that there are truly two versions of Mayweather, both equally legendary. There was Pretty Boy Floyd, the hungry young prodigy who fought with fury, combination punching, and calculated aggression. Then came Money Mayweather, the businessman, the strategist, the global icon who transformed boxing into a billion-dollar empire. Allow described how these two personas shaped not only Mayweather's fighting style but the entire sport. Pretty boy Floyd earned respect through danger and destruction, taking risks, chasing knockouts, and proving he was the best. Money Mayweather, on the other hand, mastered timing, defense, and the art of making opponents miss by inches, while simultaneously rewriting how athletes build wealth and brand power. Together, both versions of Floyd created something timeless, a blueprint for success inside and outside the ring. He wasn't just a fighter, Olau concluded. He was an architect of boxing's modern business model.
See, never gonna get this fight, unfortunately. Just two different generations. And I'm not necessarily asking you who would win, but if Floyd and Crawford were to cross paths prime for prime, would you just put that as a, yeah, that's 50-50, man, I don't know? Or are you just like, I might still give the edge to Floyd?
Man, I don't really want to compare them right now, Hans, if we seeing everything that's going on with Floyd and Roy. You know what I mean? And, they competitive guys. Next thing you know, Bud and Floyd will be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight because people is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. It's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, and I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, and make up something just to, I got my opinion on, how the fights will go, and, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. Unfortunately, they didn't fight. They could have made, they kind of two different eras though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it. You know what I mean?
Former world champion Zab Judah, one of the few men who's actually shared a ring with Mayweather, gave his honest take. He believes Terence Crawford is the king of this generation. Judah acknowledged that every era has its dominant figure, and right now, Crawford carries that torch. He recalled when Canelo Alvarez himself admitted that Crawford might actually be better than Floyd, a statement Judah says shouldn't be dismissed lightly. In his view, Crawford has already proven he can dominate elite opponents across multiple divisions, showcasing complete versatility and composure. Judah was quick to clarify that this doesn't diminish Mayweather's greatness, rather, it's a recognition that the sport evolves. Floyd had his era, Judah said. Now this is Bud's time. And he's earned every bit of it.
I don't see this one coming unless you know the history of these two guys.
Yeah, they don't like each other too much, do they, Sean?
When you look at the history, it's kind of like for a street fight. It doesn't make sense for like a in-the-ring situation. And so it's kind of like, I guess for the sake of words, crazier things have happened. And then now you have to say, well, no, it doesn't get crazier than this.
You're not kidding, right? Obviously we watched Mike Sean in November against Jake Paul. I think clearly those guys like each other. Floyd and Mike, not so much. Obviously there's been some tension there over the years. Do you think they go in there, despite the fact that this is an exhibition fight? I mean, do they go in there and do they both try and take each other out?
I don't know what that fight looks like. And that kind of was my biggest apprehension with coming on with you guys today. It was like, how do you analyze what a fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather could look like, right? So then you think about when Floyd got in the ring with Big Show, we already know, like we know now more than we've ever known before that the WWE is fake. It's kind of like acceptable, but it wouldn't be acceptable in a boxing ring. It wouldn't be acceptable if there becomes some sort of weird antics and things like that. I mean, I guess I'll have to do what I did once before with Mike and Jake, and I'm gonna go on record for saying this doesn't happen.
Falls apart sometime before.
This doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know how you can make it make sense. I don't know how you can make this one make sense.
And to your point, they may have it, but if they have it, they haven't said it yet. There's no date for the fight, no location that's been announced. So,
right.
Veteran trainer Breadman Edwards took a more grounded approach, dismissing the idea of pitting Floyd against Crawford altogether. He argued that such comparisons rob Crawford of his moment. "Bud is living his prime right now," Edwards said. "He shouldn't be overshadowed by constant what-ifs against fighters from a different generation." Instead, Breadman suggested that if Floyd truly wants another major crossover event, he should look towards someone like Roy Jones Jr., a spectacle that would carry massive nostalgic appeal without undercutting today's stars. For Edwards, Crawford's achievements speak for themselves. "He's already the face of boxing right now," he said. "We don't need fantasy fights to validate that." He went on to criticize boxing's obsession with hypothetical matchups, insisting that fans should celebrate greatness in the present moment rather than chasing the ghosts of the past.
Stuff like this, no, I didn't like the Jake-Mike fight. I told you guys that. I didn't think Mike should have been fighting then. I don't think he should be fighting now. I don't like the fact that Jake and Gervonta are fighting when Gervonta is a sitting champion. At least these two are retired, but this is an indication, and I've said this over and over, of where boxing is. That this will probably have a ton of intrigue, but it's almost like the WWE rolling out Stone Cold Steve Austin or rest in peace Hulk Hogan whenever they need a big-time pop and whenever they need to get the crowd energized because their current stars just aren't hitting the same. This is what boxing feels like right now. Boxing feels like Antiques Roadshow. Honestly, this kind of stuff, that's what it feels like. And again, it's the spectacle, it's the entertainment value, and it is the era of the unpredictable, as Mike says there, but it's not good. I can tell you that, it is not good. This is why we need people like Turkey Al-Sheikh, Eddie Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya, hell, Dana White to come into boxing and fix this shit, because stuff like this, and Jake and Gervonta, is kind of the norm now. Mike says, "I still can't believe Floyd really wants to do this." He added, "It's going to be detrimental to his health, but he wants to do it, so it's signed and it's happening." It's not even believable to hear Mike talk like that. Because, yes, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, he'd be right. But we saw Mike struggle to walk into the ring versus Jake. And yeah, Mike was dangerous enough for Jake not to engage with him. But Jake, not engaging with him, just circled and jabbed his way to the ending of an exhibition where both guys get their hand raised, and we all feel like, yeah, that wasn't a fight, because clearly Mike is not the same, and clearly Jake did not want to take that extra step to try to actually put him away.
Former champion Sean Porter gave his reaction to the shocking news of Mayweather versus Mike Tyson, calling it closer to a street fight than a boxing match. He revealed that behind the scenes, there's real tension between Floyd and Mike, personal resentment that stretches back decades. Porter warned that if the fight ever happens, it wouldn't be a calm exhibition, it would be fueled by ego and emotion. "That's not something the sanctioning bodies will want to see," he said. "There's too much risk, too much bad blood." He added that while the spectacle would draw massive global attention, it could also cross dangerous lines. Porter's conclusion was blunt: it might sell tickets, but it's not what boxing needs. Many analysts echoed his concern, saying the sport's growing reliance on exhibition fights featuring retired legends risks diluting its credibility.
Really? So they're not trying to knock each other out?
No, Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather don't like each other. They have not liked each other forever.
Tyson and Mayweather.
Yes.
But they like
Mike
money.
Tyson and Mayweather don't like each other.
Huh.
If there's a fight that might be real, like where Mike Tyson might say, "I'm going to knock this motherfucker out," or "I'm going to try to knock this motherfucker out.
It would be Floyd? They wouldn't fight.
Yeah, because if you look at like the Jake Paul fight,
They'll
no
fight it.
disrespect, and if you look at the Roy Jones fight, no disrespect.
Yeah.
They look like they were sparring.
Yeah.
Right? It looked like there was agreements made.
Yeah. Working.
I do not know if Mike would honor any of those agreements. Really? If there was a moment
They've
to
had beef
crack.
for years.
Yeah. If there was a moment to really, could he hit him? I mean, that little motherfucker can move still. At 50 years old, he's so slick.
Yep.
He's still in shape. He's still fit.
They're both old as fuck.
Old as fuck.
But this is the boxing.
How old is Mayweather?
67.
Dude, Bernard
49?
Hopkins was
49.
still at the best in the world at 50.
Yep.
I mean, that's incredible.
That doesn't mean shit, though. With this. Because he was active fighting contenders.
Kentucky's got Gomez on the ground.
You're talking about two retired guys.
Yeah.
Fighting the
That's
exhibition.
so
It's just
weird.
money grabs.
It's so weird,
Yeah, it is weird. It's money grabs. I don't like it, but it's fun. You know, it's something to watch.
I'll hate on it, but I'll tune in.
Yeah, I'll tune in. It's, you know, but it's not really fighting.
So Jake Paul's not
Entertainment.
going to actually be trying to knock out Gervonta Davis.
There's a reason it says exhibition.
If I had a guess. Yeah. The event itself will be a world-class venue and be presented to a global audience with new in-ring technology elements that will reshape how boxing is presented and scoring is achieved for years to come. What does that mean?
That shit has Abu Dhabi written all over.
What does that mean? This is Tyson versus Mayweather. What does that mean? Where are they doing that? Are they doing that in Saudi Arabia?
But of course.
Because
they have all the money.
My friend.
And they just go, what do you want to see? I'd always like to see Floyd Tyson.
Who wants to fight an alligator?
Podcast host Joe Rogan delved deeper into the personal friction between Floyd and Mike. According to Rogan, the animosity between the two has been simmering for years, long before their potential exhibition was announced. He theorized that if the fight happens, it won't look like the Floyd Mayweather fans are used to. This won't be the cautious, defensive Floyd, Rogan said. If there's real hatred there, he might actually go for the knockout. That's what fascinates Rogan, the possibility of seeing Floyd abandon his usual patience and instead fight with emotion. He described it as a once-in-a-lifetime psychological matchup, not about titles, but pride, history, and unresolved tension.
And Mayweather has been out of the spotlight for a lot longer now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's interest in it.
Does it happen, GC?
No. Which has more of a chance of happening, Connor? White House card or
White House card seems to be happening. I got to eat my crow on that one. It's
Yeah.
tough. Tyson Floyd,
no chance.
Also, even if it does happen, it's just like, who really cares?
Yeah.
Like, it's not them at their highest level. It's an exhibition. Everybody will clown on it when it eventually does happen.
There is a way that exhibitions can be fun. Tyson versus Roy Jones was actually like the best version of that, right? An exhibition that like I thought was exciting, delivered for the fans, but also that was so long ago for Mike Tyson. The version that we saw
like
against
early 50s.
Yeah, the version that we saw against Jake Paul just can't
Against
do it
the
anymore.
guy around his size too. Floyd Mayweather is not that.
Roy's pretty small, but
So
no, not as small as Floyd though.
Yeah, Roy fought at heavyweight at one time.
Yeah, Floyd is very small.
Mike Roy was super interesting. It was in the, very kind of early stages of the pandemic.
Yeah.
8 months in, but we were
Yeah.
still kind of dark and depressed at that point. And like Tyson hadn't fought, it was nostalgic. It was Roy. Okay, so I got the appeal. I got the appeal of Jake because he was so much younger and he's a novice compared to Tyson. I don't know. Okay, now what's the appeal here? You know what I mean? What's the
Two of the greatest boxers ever to fight each other.
I feel like we just saw that with Tyson and Roy. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the same hook.
I feel like Tyson and Roy didn't have the same vast reach that
was a
Jake
big
Paul
deal.
versus.
And that wraps up today's segment. The landscape of boxing may soon change once again with Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, and Terence Crawford all standing at the center of it.